is my sister from Nigeria who works for Miami, World Trade Center, Miami. Ms. Kemmy Dir is the International Trade Development Specialist and Director for Africa Trade Expansion Program at World Trade Center, Miami. Her role includes the promotion of market integration, creation of market access, and facilitates two-way trade between the Western Hemisphere and Sub-Sahara Africa. She's the one that's going to tell you the key as to how all we've been saying, doing trade, and how you can bring your products to the U.S. market. Please welcome Ms. Kemmy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick introduction about World Trade Center Miami. We are a member of the World Trade Center Association with global headquarters in New York. We promote two-way trade between the Western Hemisphere and other global markets. We create market access. We facilitate market integration. We offer trade assistance programs, and we advocate for trade. My role is to support small businesses across Africa to be able to successfully bring their products into the US market. Having said that, my organization has been existing for more than 30 years, and we are very well known for what we do. Just a quick overview of the statistics to describe where we are in terms of trade between Africa and the US. It should concern us that over the last few years, the trade volume between the US and Africa, particularly Sub-Saharan Africa, has been declining. Total trade between the US and this region used to be about 100 billion around 2008, 2006, 2007. But that has come down significantly to about 40 billion in 2017, 2018. I also like to talk about AGOA, which is a very great market access instrument that the US government gave to about 40 sub-Saharan African countries are beneficiaries of AGOA. And I like to quickly go through the figures to show how that particular instrument has not been well utilized over the past 18 to 19 years. It was created in 2000, actually. And if we look at exactly what we are doing under AGOA, the export of products that we are, the total volume or the total number of exports that we are doing, taking into the US under AGOA, and if you take out crude oil, the number is really insignificant. What we have there for 2017 is just about $3 billion. And there's, this slide will give us a clear picture that the bulk of what we do in terms of the product going to the US market is essentially crude oil from Nigeria and Angola. In 2017, AGOA's export was 12 billion, 9.2 billion was oil and gas. So if you take that out, you just have about 3 billion. And then South Africa alone does $1.8 billion. So if you take that out, if you take South Africa's figure out, you have about 1.2 billion, which means that about 38 countries put together did about $1.2 billion under this framework. This is in a poor performance, in my opinion. And I specifically want to talk about what Kenya does with the US now to look at exactly what is going from Kenya into the market and how we can address the challenges. In 2017, I will focus on that. In 2018, it grew slightly to 644, but I don't have the breakdown. The breakdown is not publicly available yet, so I will still stick to my 2017 figures. In 2017, Kenya had a total export of $572 million to the US. That's way too low for a country with so much potential like Kenya. And a typical example is you have heard so much about the relationship between Florida and Latin America. Dominican Republic is a country with 9 million people, and in 2018, that country did $3.2 billion in exports into through Florida into the US. So part of the challenges is also the concentration, the lack of diversification in terms of the African, the product mix that is sent into the, that we export into the Americas market. I've talked about the high concentration of oil for Kenya. Kenya does not export oil into the market, but the bulk of the export is textile, apparel, and household goods, which was $320 million in 2017, and agricultural products. That's one area that I've heard almost all African countries say they want to diversify using agriculture. Agriculture is where we have the potential. And total agricultural export was just $163 million. Bulk of it is commodities, and that's coffee that you can see there. So we need our products, we need more of refined products from the continent to be able to penetrate the market. We actually did a research and we discovered the reasons why we're doing so poorly. I said we because, I mean, Desmond said, already introduced me that I'm a Nigerian, so I'll personalize some of these things because this performance is actually across the continent. It's not just a Kenyan. So this is not a judgment day. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying that these are the issues that we have identified as an organization. We have a solution that we are going to be talking about in a few minutes, and this is how we think we can work together to address some of the challenges that the continent is facing. The AGOA, there's no clear strategy on the implementation of AGOA. As I said, it's been, the framework has been available for, the opportunity has been available for about 19 years now, and we're still struggling to do what is right or to have maximum utilization of that framework. So many SMEs that are really, really enthusiastic and interested in exporting to that market, they do not have their government support across the continent. And of course, our products are not so known in the continent. I mean, in the US market, in the Americas market. There's poor visibility of African products, and also the issue of non-compliance with regulatory requirements. I hear this a lot. Oh, we are not able to bring our products, seizure and all that. The US is not going to lower the standard for Africans. We have to work hard to be able to meet those requirements because it applies to every part of the world. Having said that, our organization has put together a dual intervention approach. The first is the market access platform, and I'll be talking about it briefly, which is the America's Food and Beverage Show for the food and beverage sector. And also we have a specific program that we're using that we want to offer to African countries, which is the Africa Trade Expansion Program. For the market access platform, it's the America's Food and Beverage Show. The show has run for more than 20 years successfully, and about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, we created a pavilion for Africa to address what I said on the previous slide, that African products have poor visibility on the in the country. So we created a dedicated pavilion for Africa at the show to give visibility to our products. A lot of countries, African countries, have benefited. Every year we receive about 8 to 10 African countries except Kenya. That's one of the reasons I'm here. South Africa comes, Nigeria, Congo, and now the market is getting to know what exactly we have and what we can offer. But this particular program is for products that are market ready. There's something called market readiness, export readiness assessment. So if your product is not ready, it's not going to do well here. You have to bring products that are already sophisticated for that market, that you have already developed the branding, you have met all the compliance requirements, you have FDA, if this is a food platform. And so a lot of buyers come, and you have the opportunity, if you know anyone who has a very good product, who is in the food and beverage industry in Kenya, the person may want to join us this year on the 23rd and 24th of September in Miami. About 12,000 buyers come from different countries, and the African pavilion is growing very fast, and we want Kenya to be part of that as well. And this is the picture of the America's Food and Beverage Show, and last year we had the Africa Pavilion here that I just want to show. And then the second solution that we're also proposing is the trade assistance with market access. This is to support SMEs from the beginning. Those who are not ready, we'll get them ready. We'll bring in our consultants and they would train them and also take them through the process from the manufacturing stage to, all the way until the product gets to the market. This program focuses not just on the food and beverage industry, but also on textile and apparel and arts and craft. So if you know anyone that may be interested, this is something that we're discussing with the government of Kenya. I have met them today, and we're discussing how we can partner with them to support SMEs in this regard. So this program, just to quickly recap what the benefit of the program, it guarantees market access to the Americas. It will help to grow. The numbers, I have shown the numbers on the chart in the previous slides. It's going to enhance economic diversification as well, and it will accelerate market access, market integration, and support the AGOA implementation strategy. We also have to note that AGOA is not going to be on forever. We have until 2025, so we just have about 6 years under that framework. So this is actually the time for us to do whatever we need to do to take advantage of that opportunity before it goes away. And in conclusion, we are willing to work with all the stakeholders in Kenya. That's why we are here, so that we can help you to succeed in that market. Thank you.
On the cruise before, but listen, before you leave this room, before you leave this hotel, before you leave us today, there is one man that you must see. If you have to go visit his home, I don't care. Please, Mr. Emmanuel Mbevi, stand up. Miami-Dade County does not have an office in Kenya, but the state of Florida has an office in Kenya, and that's the guy. All these things that Kemmy just said, because I don't want to hear any complaints again. Oh, U.S. market is too difficult. Oh, it's too hard, you know. Why should your flowers leave Kenya and go to Europe, and then from Europe they say made in Netherlands and they send it to us? That's robbery. The man that can help you, besides Kemmy is leaving with us tomorrow to Addis, so you can send her emails and everything. This man is a Kenyan. The state of Florida pays him to increase trade specifically between Kenya and East Africa and the United States. He has all the information, all the knowledge, all the contacts. So please, get his business card, go visit his office, sit down with him and find out how you can take advantage. It is shameful that African products are not able to penetrate into the U.S. market. It's not because, you know, I do this presentation. AGOA was a gift to Africa. Bring your products into the United States without tariff. 19 years into this, we are still struggling. $163 million of worth of product only from Kenya to the U.S. Anyway.